You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to be reviewing episode 15 of The Walking Dead season 4 entitled Us or US, however way you want to look at it. First thing I gotta know, did anyone else get a bad feeling when Maggie had the picture in her hand and it shows her with her, sleeping, and there's a streak of blood across the bottom and then she burns it and they kind of focus on that? To me, that was just a bad omen, and I just had to get that out right on the outset because for some reason, that's the one thing that stuck with me about this episode was that picture. Because as you all know, there's this rumor flying around that she may be dying, but who knows? I could just be looking too deep into it, but for some reason, there was too much focus on that picture, and on top of that, what she told Glenn when she said, "You'll never need another picture of me again." I don't know. I just get a bad feeling about that. Overall, a good episode, a nice calm after a very emotional roller coaster last week with the two girls passing away. And it's nice to see Glenn and Maggie finally reunited after searching for each other, the last 6, 7, or actually since the beginning of the second half. Got to see a little bit of Rick and Michonne, but nothing big. But now we got confirmation that this group is tracking them. I'm not sure if Daryl has a hint of that. I remember the scene where he claimed the tomato, which was near the candy wrapper. I'm wondering if maybe he saw the candy wrapper and said to himself, well, that looks a little familiar. I remember so-and-so used to eat this candy. I don't know, maybe. Not 100% sure about that, but it did cross my mind. So let's just cut to the chase. I mean, the scene in the tunnel was great. I really thought Tara was going to bite the dust, and I figured if she did, that would make perfect sense. I don't really see... Not that I don't see her going far on the show. They could give her a new purpose, but as of right now, her purpose is to help Glenn. And I think once they get to Terminus, which they did, I don't see which purpose she serves anymore. So maybe she'll be fodder at the end of the episode 16. So Terminus. All right. So here's another interesting one. They get to Terminus. Everything looks great. There's plants. There's vegetables growing. There's one person cooking, and let's be honest, man. It's too quiet there. There's no zombies. There's not enough. There's no people unless people are sleeping or something. Does not give me a good feeling. It does not. They try to pass it on as a happy ending to the episode. They get there. The music's cheery. There's vegetables. She's cooking. Let me make you a plate. Don't feel good about that. Now, Daryl's group is a little too extreme, I think, even for him. Even though he's a roughneck and things like that, he's picked up a lot of values over the seasons from Herschel, from Rick. He's changed, and he's changed for the better. He still has that rough around the edges about him, and he pulls it out when he needs it, but this is not him. And he knows now, after dealing with the group, experiencing his short time with Merle before Merle passed, he realizes right and wrong. He knows that this group is not healthy. I think he's rolling with them for now because it's the lesser of two evils. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen when that group, if they end up catching up with Rick and Michonne and Carl. I personally think that Daryl is going to side obviously with Rick, and he's going to turn on this group. But, they're pretty heavily armed. They would have them outnumbered. And, Rick, Michonne, and Carl, they've got a lot to face. Now, you got Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Glenn, Maggie, Sasha, Bobby, and Tara. There we go. She's so easy to forget. So, they're at Terminus. They're there. We didn't get any Carol or Tyrese this episode. But I think we can assume that probably in the early portion of the season finale, we'll see them arrive as well. I think Rick Carl and Michonne will be the last to get there, but I think they're going to be bringing trouble with them because we also know that Joe and his crew, as well as Daryl, are all heading to Terminus. And while heading to Terminus, obviously Joe has already said that they've been tracking. They track Rick to the railroad tracks, so they figured at that point he has to be heading to Terminus. So they're heading there too. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. All I know is that this episode was a good, solid episode. It's nice to see a good portion of the group reunited. It's nice to see that Glenn and Maggie are reunited. But man, I gotta tell you, I do not like that whole picture scene where she burns the picture and she says what she says. And if you look at the picture closely at the time, it's her sleeping with the blood. Oh man, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about that. I want to know if you guys feel the same way. I just think they made it too obvious. And then what she says to him just stuck with me. Like, you'll never need a picture of me again. Man, that's bullshit, man. This is a zombie apocalypse. You better have as many pictures as you can. The tunnel scene was really cool. You know, it keeps showing how Glenn is very creative when it comes to dealing with walkers. None too different than season 1. He's always been creative at dealing with walkers if he doesn't have to engage them. Obviously, Tara's foot getting stuck could have been a disaster, but luckily, Maggie, Abraham, and the rest of the crew came and saved them. And that was pretty much the highlight of the show, was that core group. We got very brief looks at at Carl, Rick, and Michonne. We obviously spent some time with Daryl and Joe and that crew, and we see how they get down now. I mean, they killed that guy. I mean, beating him up is, and don't get me wrong, he was an asshole anyway. I don't mind, but that's a little bit too extreme, and I think Daryl knows that. I think he's going to, he's rolling with them because he has to, but I think he knows that that's not where he wants to be. So let's see what happens. Let's see. I mean, there's really not much to talk about in this episode. It's pretty straightforward. Group reunited. Daryl still rolling with Joe and that crew, and they're a little extreme. Rick and Michonne are getting closer to Terminus. Obviously, Glenn, Maggie, and that crew arrived there. Very, very weird place right off the bat. I don't get a good feeling about it at all. I do not think that is a sanctuary. Next week's going to be really interesting. We still have Beth, who's kind of like left in suspended animation. Last time we saw her, we don't know what's going on with her right now. Daryl, I don't know how close he is to her. I don't know what the, distance is, and I don't know what's going on with that. We still haven't seen this so-called character Gareth, so we should definitely be seeing him in the last episode. So last episode is going to be really interesting. I don't know how they're going to cram so much into 45 minutes, but I guess they'll find a way. We'll have to wait and see. One last thing, don't forget to join the live stream next weekend at 10:30 p.m. here on E.T.N. We're going to be joined by Agree to Disagree and Comic Uno, 2 other channels who also do Walking Dead reviews. We'll be here at 10:30. We're going to review the episode, take a look back at Season 4, and interact with you guys who are going to be present on the live stream to talk some Walking Dead. That's it, guys. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N., where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page.